Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. It is quite obvious that the person in the heavy duty truck who hit Anderson Graham and has not come forward. They don't plan to come forward. It is obvious that they're going to take that matter to their grave unless they get drunk and talk about it in the rum shop, and then someone informs the Barbados Police Service, and then you're going to have to prove that he was not dreaming, that when he said that he did the thing, that it was really him that did the thing. It has to be proven. But in the meanwhile, the person that they have, or the persons that they picked up on this particular matter and who are still having to show up in the police station every week or whatever, several times a week, whatever, to sign in, they should be absolved of all fault, because at that time of night, in the wee hours of the night, midnight, when they were traveling on that particular road where Anderson Graham's body laid, they're not, and the streets are not well lit. They're not going to know that they're going to come across something like that until it happens. And it seems as though more than one vehicle ran over Anderson while he laid on the road and he was deceased. We are saying that at that time he was deceased, and couple cars ran over him while he laid mortally wounded in the streets there in Barbados. So if they're saying that the initial hit that killed Anderson Graham, that person behind the wheel has not come forward and they have not found out who it is, they have no clue who it is, and they're saying, come forward, or people are saying they need help finding the driver in the hit and run. Obviously, the people that they have called in, whose car could have had some residue of running over Anderson, they should be released. They should be released. You have to look at everything on the whole. It was dark. It was dark. Okay? They could not see that there was something in the road. There was a body in the road, and it wasn't as though they intended to run over it, or it was malice. It wasn't. No, they didn't have a grudge. They were just trying to get home. People are trying to get home at that time of night. Okay, so Anderson Graham, yes, he has passed on, and he has been buried and everything. He's gone. He's gone. But and they're saying that they need help finding the driver. That should be now a matter between the driver and God. It seems it's a matter between the driver and God, and the driver and conscience. Okay, but in the meanwhile, while the driver is dealing and wrestling with their conscience, while they're doing that, other people who were dragged into this matter and who are just secondary to the fact that it happened and they were just on their way home, they should be released and not have the pressure and the stress of having this hanging over their heads. Okay, it was something that they didn't envision, something that they didn't plan, something that they didn't know of beforehand. It happened, but they should be released, while the conscience of the person who did hit Anderson Graham and killed him in that hit and run, you have to wait to see how that pans out, how that person sorts it out. And hopefully, I don't think it's going to happen, but since people want it to happen, hopefully the person will come forward. Like I said, he's already deceased, and the person that hit him didn't plan it either. Maybe Anderson was drunk and in the middle of the road when he got hit. It's all up in the air. It's all for Anderson. He's dead now, but it's for the person who hit him. It's a matter of conscience, and if he has kids, if he has a wife, there are people dependent on him, he has a business, whatever, could be a she, do you give your life, do you throw your life away, or do you give your life up to admit to something like this? How do you measure this, especially if Anderson, he was known to be very fond of Mount Gay and, you know, the spirits, how do you measure it? How are you going to measure this thing? And, you know, like I said, it's all a matter of conscience at this point. Okay, it's a matter of conscience. Do you, I cannot say do the right thing. Cannot say that. It's not a matter of right or wrong. You know, as someone was not careful, how much fault do you assign to Anderson? How much fault do you assign to someone walking in the dark and drunk and walking probably in the middle of the road? How do you assign fault? And if someone has a whole life ahead of them, they can forgive themselves. They can put it behind them, and if they're prudent, if they're wise, it will never ever leave their lips. They will never ever say anything about it, and life goes on. Life goes on. There's surface and there's 6 feet under. The dead. Bury the dead. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.